Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. It's Monday, which means it's time for yet another one of our viewer specials. So, for those who are new to the series, who have never seen one of these videos before, we like to, once a week, usually on Mondays, take a look at replays from you all, the viewers. That way we're not just watching me play all the time, we get to see some decks that I don't normally play or don't have, as well as just getting to see other playstyles and strategies and all that fun stuff. I've always maintained that one of the best ways to improve at not just Yu-Gi-Oh! But any game is to watch multiple different people play and get multiple different perspectives from them. So that's part of the idea of the viewer special. The other part is, of course, to just kind of come together as a community and celebrate our cool games and the cool decks that we've been playing. So if you're interested in submitting any games for the viewer special, you can go ahead and check out the description below. You're going to find a link there to our Discord server, the Hexlexplex, and there we have a channel called Viewer Special Submissions where you can submit the information there. The main bit of information that we're going to need is your 9-digit player ID. That way I can see your publicly saved replays. Do make sure that your replays are being publicly saved. If they are not, then I'm not able to view or feature them. Other information that's very helpful to leave is if you have multiple replays, definitely specify the replay by either saying your opponent's name or the date and time, just some kind of information where I can know, like, hey, this is a replay you want me to see. But also, if you have more than one replay, totally feel free to do multiple submissions if you want. The only thing I ask is that you don't submit the same game, like spam it over and over again. But like, if you have 10 different saved replays, you can do 10 different submissions. That is 100% fine with me. And I also do watch pretty much everything that comes in. We only have time to feature so many games per week, but as the submissions are coming in, and also as I make the videos, I'm definitely watching them. So just know that if nothing else, I did see your game, even if it didn't end up getting featured here. One other thing real quick before we start is that we were able to obtain more codes for Untapped premium subscriptions from Untapped. Our partners over there were very, very generous to give us some more codes. So that means that next week, the Plex Leaderboard Challenge is back on. So while you're over in the Discord server, in fact, I think it's the channel directly below Viewer Special Submissions, check out the Plex Leaderboard Challenge. The idea is that by using the Untapped Companion, you can track your win rate throughout the course of the season, and we will be giving away prizes to the players with the highest win rate every single week. There's going to be more info about that in the Discord server, and also if you watch previous viewer specials, we've talked about it there as well. But yeah, definitely go ahead and check that out if you're interested in some free weekly prizing. And you'll also need the Untapped Companion for that, which you can get from my affiliate download in the link in the description below. Completely free. It's just one click, install, boom, you've got it, and then it'll automatically keep track of your win rate, as well as a lot of other cool stats that you can check out. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and move on to these duels we're going to see here. Okay, so our first duel comes to us from Real Stazen, who has a game playing the new Chimera cards in Branded against Snake Eye. Definitely want to check this out. We've seen the Chimera cards in action here on the viewer special, but I don't think we saw a branded deck. I think it was Chimera Plunder, if I remember right. Alright, let's see what we got here. So, I see the branded cards. We got the Gamma in hand as well. Could very easily become useful here. We're going to lead with the Lubellian, pitching that to add a Bestial Magnum Hut. We're going to follow up with the Fusion deployment here, revealing the Granganol to summon out the Blazing Cartesia. Blazing Cartesia gets to fuse with the Sardier to summon the Granganol, I imagine, here. Yep, there is Granganol. This will, of course, proc the Granganol and the Sardier effect to send a couple of cards to our graveyard from the deck / extra deck. Sardier is going to send the Branded Retribution, and it looks like Granganol is going to send the Albion. Albion, of course, will get to send the Branded Fusion, and now we can use the Retribution to wheel the Branded Fusion back to our hand. Pretty standard way for Branded to get access to its main card nowadays. There's our first Chimera card. We're going to fuse Fallen of Albaz with Gazelle in order to summon the Rindabrum here. That'll proc the Gazelle effect to add an Illusion Monster from deck to hand, and I don't believe, we have not normal summoned yet, so Here comes the Mirror Sword Knight. Going to use that to get out our big winged Baphomet, which will add our Chimera Fusion, as well as a copy of Spriggan's Kit. Oh, I didn't even think about adding Spriggan's Kit, because it's a beast. That's sick. Alright, Kit's going to get branded in white. We're going to put back the driver. So opening it wasn't even necessarily bad here, because we at least had something good to put back with the kit. We still get to keep the Gamma in hand. Here is Chimera, the king of flying mythical somethings or other. King of Phantom Beasts. So, end phase, we're going to get a hand rip from our opponent, and then Big Winged Baphomet's going to bring back the Mirror Sword Knight, but we are going to end up getting smacked with the Nibiru here, so a little bit unfortunate, but definitely not the end of the world, as we get to proc the Granganol effect now to bring out Guiding Quem the Virtuous. Quem effect will send an Albas to the graveyard, and then now we can add back our Chimera Fusion and banish our Big Winged Baphomet for the Bestial Magnum Hut. Magnum Hut, of course, will add during the end phase. We can sack that off for Lubellion. Lubellion will place the Branded Lost into our Spell Trap Zone. Now we get to use Branded White. This is all after Nibiru, by the way. This is post-Nibiru. We're still comboing off this hard. Alright, Branded Lost, Guiding Quem, and of course Lubellion will all get to activate here. It's a nice little diagonal chain link we got going. That's good. Alright, so Lubellion's gonna proc first. This will, of course, fuse with the Albaz and his Banish to summon out Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon. Guiding Quem's gonna activate next, bringing back Rindabrum, which is very scary. And then we get to add Mercurier for another monster to get here. Gonna set the Chimera Fusion. End phase, we get to not only Mirror Jade, but then also negate it with Rindabrum. That way we get to bounce back. Oh no, we're not gonna bounce back. But we do still get to stop the Mirror Jade while still sending the Albion. And then I do believe that will also allow us to use Mirror Jade on our opponent's turn as well. Sending the Wanted off of the Chimera. It's a pretty good snipe there, too. We even get to set the Branded Retribution as well. Alright, Chimera F is going to banish itself for the Mirror... Oh, no. Gonna banish itself for the Mirror Sword Knight. Opponent chains Galaxy Cyclone. I actually think I said this recently in a video, or I think it was a stream. But this is something I've said since Runic format. Don't play this card. This card is a noob trap. Don't play this card. Cosmic Cyclone is not good. It's not worth an entire card just to banish one spell or trap card on the field. It's not worth the deck slot. It's not worth it to hit Runic Fountain. It's not worth it to hit a Flamberge in the spell trap zone. This is a side deck card, and even a lot of the time, I would not side deck this card. Do not main deck Cosmic Cyclone. The card is not good. It is not a good card to main deck in Best of 1. I just see it so often. I'm like, why? I don't understand. I seriously don't understand the appeal of this card at all. It's like barely better MST, honestly. Like I said, it's a side deck card even than I would normally side deck it, but Big Winged Baphomet's going to add Gazelle and Chimera Fusion here. That was all during the opponent's draw phase, mind you. They're going to set off the Poplar for the Diabel here. Diabel F will activate, as well as the Poplar, of course, who plays itself back into the Spell Trap Zone. Diabel, I imagine, is going to set these Original Sin. Yep, there it is. And we're going to chain our Chimera Fusion. Oh, because then we get to go for the Guardian Chimera. But the opponent's going to concede before we get a chance to drop that. So, yeah, wow, that is a... if ever there was a game where we just dumpstered on the best deck with the branded Chimera deck, well, here it is. So... good stuff, good stuff. Thank you again, Stazin, for submitting that game. And again, I have to stress, don't play Cosmic Cyclone in Best of 1. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's never been worth it, ever. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at our next game. Alright, so looks like our next game comes to us from CJ Scott. CJ Scott is bringing Volcanic Snake Eye, which I don't think we've seen on the channel yet. And from the way the description sounds, I don't think this is an FCK either. So, well, it's more than one turn, right? Yeah. Check out this duel here against the Milkman. Ted, is that you? So yeah, I'll be interested to see this, because I haven't even seen Volcanic do the FTK. I have not seen Volcanic at all since it came out. So, let's see what we got. Leading with a pretty good looking hand here. I mean, we have Wanted Bonfire Callby, so can't complain about that at all. Opponent's on a 60 card deck, okay. So we're going to, of course, add the Diabel off the Wanted, and then Bonfire for the Snake Eye Ash. Got the Snake Eye Ash F to add a Poplar. Yep, Poplar F to summon itself. We're going to use Poplar To grab Temple? No, we're gonna grab Original Sin. Okay. I wondered. I was wondering if we're gonna grab the Original Sin off the Diabell or not. But I've never played the Volcanic variant, so I'm very eager. I know the Rimfire is a good card. This card says the graveyard you can banish. This card from the graveyard if you do add. Yeah, this card can search either the Volcanic monsters or Blaze Accelerator, I believe. So pretty good card. I've read it before. Okay, here is the Rimfire. Oh, I see. We're already diverging a little bit here. We're gonna link immediately into the Promethean Princess with Link Kribo, Rimfire, and Flamberge. I'll proc both Flamberge and Rimfire's effects, so we get to, of course, summon back 2 level 1 fire monsters and then add the Volcanic monster, or send it, rather. Looks like we sent the Volcanic Trooper. And here's another nib, getting nibbed left and right, but we're still going to be able to make plays here for sure. We're going to use the Wanted effect here in order to put back the Original Sin and then draw... actually, what card was that? Hang on. That was Awakening of the Possessed, Greater Inari Fire. Oh, this is like the Earth one. Yeah. Send a face-up spellcaster level 4 fire monster you control to the graveyard. Oh, you control to the graveyard. I see. The Earth one sends from the deck, I believe, if it's the same style of monster. I remember playing that in Adamantipator, so... Gonna use Diabell here to set the Subversion. I see, and then we're gonna push back the nib with the Subversion, setting call by before we end up passing back to our opponent here. Who's gonna lead with the Feather Duster? Not ideal, but it's just a call by, so it's really not a huge deal, right? Monster Reborn next? Wow. Opponent's on like staples the deck so far. Nib, Duster, Reborn. Duster and Reborn. Reborn in particular is interesting. What deck is playing Monster Reborn right now? They're gonna Flamberge and give us our... Oh, they're on... Wait. So they're on Stake Eye. They gave us... Okay, them putting our Flamberge back makes sense. I guess they just didn't have, like, another monster in general. Just kind of wondering why they didn't go off here, but I guess that would explain it if they just, again, did not have another monster here. But, yeah, putting the Flamberge spell trap isn't going to do much, because we can set up our Diabell here. Oh, then they're going to go for a Kurikara. That's fine, whatever. Kurikara F is going to bring back our Diabell, which should actually, again, be fine, even if they get to set something here. Well, I was gonna say if they actually are on the trap card Silvera or the quick play spell Rakila, that would be a bit of an issue, but they're not, so it's not. Okay, we have the Snake Eye Ash here, but we also already had Bonfire in hand, so they're gonna use Divine Temple as well as Wanted. This is all fine. Alright, Wanted for the Diabell, and then Divine Temple is gonna bring out the Snake Eye Ash. Ash F will add, our Ash is gonna add Poplar. Their Ash, I imagine, is also going to add Poplar. Looks like... Oh! Yeah, now we get to use Princess and pop our own Flamberge. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah, they can have their Nibiru or whatever. Who cares? Least scary Nibiru animation ever. Alright, here is our Poplar. They're going to, of course, add their own Poplar. Oh, they will get to summon it, too. I was going to say they don't get to summon it because their field is full, but yeah, we're about to pop our own Flamberge here, so... Flamberge F, Poplar F, yep, they're... Oh, they did have Silvera, they just already had it set. Ooh, plot twist, okay. And then, of course, their Poplar is going to proc as well. But we just still have our Original Sin, and I don't believe we've actually accessed Oak yet. We could also potentially access our Volcanic line here, too. Alright, their Poplar is going to add Subversion. Who cares? Not a big deal. We're going to use our Ash F to summon, yeah, I imagine, a Flamberge. Poplar F will set up the Awakening of the Possessed in our spell trap. So we're going to use Original Sin to, yep, I was going to say, I imagine, send that. Grabbing Oak. Unfortunately, we don't have room for Oak here, but that we will still get to add. And this actually does proc our Awakening of the Possessed here to add either a Spiritual Fire Art or a Possessed spell or trap card from deck to hand. So we're going to add back Rimfire and add the Spiritual Fire Art Kurane? I know I butchered that, but, and we have the Anima too! Wait, we're going to equip our own Amble Whale? Okay, and then we're linking for Celine. Alright, Celine F. Oh, because then we get to... I see. We get to Amble Whale because this card was destroyed because it was equipped but to the anima that was used as a link material. Oh my god, that was... I had a feeling some next level plays were going to happen here. That's why I was like, I just want to see how this plays out. I'm not going to say anything until I see how it plays out, and yep. Ugh. Now we get to co-link the Nightmare Phoenix, pitch the Rimfire, destroy their current card, use the Selene effect, and that'll also trigger our Rimfire, I believe, as well, because it got sent to the graveyard. So Diabell is going to end up coming back here. Popping their current card in the spell trap. Yep, here's Rimfire F, as well as, of course, the Diabell effect as well. Rimfire is going to banish itself to send a Volcanic Emperor. Now Diabell will set up the Wanted. And this will be access code, I imagine, but we're not quite at lethal just yet. 53 plus 19 is going to be 7,400 points of damage, so even if we do the full board wipe here, we're still going to need a little bit more. Alright, popping their Ash, yep, banish the Amberwell, pop the Poplar, Poplar effect will trigger, yep, setting itself, we're going to call by it anyway. This will also stop Poplar on the follow-up turn, so there is that as well. I actually don't know if the Emperor or the Trooper or anything on our graveyard can bring themselves back, so I don't know if we don't have lethal yet, or... Yep, nope, here it is. There it is, the Volcanic Emperor! Let's go! We get to do 2,500 points of burn damage to them, which is going to be far more than enough for lethal. Swinging in with the Emperor itself, so hell yeah. Very, very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. The Volcanic Engine was very much the reason why we were able to close out the game there. So definitely did contribute greatly there. Thanks again, CG, for that replay. Very, very nice. We do have time for one more, so let's go ahead and watch that last one. And our final replay for the video comes to us from the Rickest Rick of them all. I do have to specify something, and I really should have said this at the top of the video. The last time we did a Plex leaderboard challenge, I actually mistakenly awarded the last code to just Jordan, I believe, when it was actually Rickest Rick who had won. I was just looking at the wrong week, which is totally my bad. But Rickest Rick has been given a subscription code as well as Jordan. And like I said, we have more codes on the way. So yeah, I should have mentioned that at the top of the video, but shoutouts to Rickest Rick, who was our actual last Plex leaderboard challenge winner. Rickest Rick also has a game that we're going to watch here, playing, I believe it was, let me see here, Stardust Runic. I'm a huge fan of the Stardust archetype. You know, when it comes to like original 5D synchro monsters, like I know Stardust Dragon is like the main character's ace monster, but it really is like one of the coolest ones. So definitely want to check this out here. And we're up against Makonko, I believe. So I see the Synchro Rumble. I recognize this card from Crimson Dragon deck, so I'm immediately excited. Alright, we're going to drop down the Hugin here with our Runic Slumber. Hugin F will pitch the Brotar. And then add the Runic Fountain. We get to tuning here as well for the Stardust Synchron. Milling. Wow, this Shield Rebellion, that's a good mill. Runic Fountain coming down here. We're going to normal summon the Stardust Synchron to add the Arrive in Light. We then get to sync the Stardust with the Hugin for Charge Warrior? No, Coral Dragon, okay. That makes sense because Coral Dragon's a tuner, yeah. And Charge Warrior is not. I always forget Stardust Charge Warrior is not a tuner. I always think it is. I think because I get it mixed up with the Coral Dragon here. So, get to draw a couple of cards off the Fountain. A couple of pretty good cards here. Druid Storm and British Flashing Fire. Arrive in Light. We're going to reveal the... we stack it, right? We do something with the Crimson, or the Majestic Dragon. Anyway, going for Red Dragon Archfiend here. Converging Wills Dragon, that's what it's called. Alright, summoning out the Brotar. That's going to be our other level 1 non-tuner for this Synchro Summon, it looks like here. Grabbing the Magnum Hut off that Lubellion. We're going to actually sack off the Red Dragon for the Bestial Lubellion here. That allows us to place the Branded Brigade from our deck to the Spell Trap Zone face up. Now we can summon Magnum Hut and then draw off the Regained, putting back that Hugin that we banished to summon said Magnum Hut. Magnum Hut will, of course, start during the end phase. We're going to draw another Runic Slumber here. Start a Synchron, sacking the Brotar to summon itself out. Now we can sync for a level 10, using the Start a Synchron and Magnum Hut, going for Bestial Dissipator. Bestial Dissipator will allow us to, at some point, I'm sure, grab a, yep, here it is, the banished Start a Synchron. But first we got to use the Arrive in Light effect there. Alright, singing for 12. This is going to be the Crimson Dragon, yep. Crimson Dragon F, targeting the, oh, is this the Majestic? It's OG Majestic. This is OG Majestic Star Dragon, the one that came out like way back in 5D's era. This card actually has an insane effect, by the way. It's just really, really hard to bring out. During either player's turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can tribute this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy all cards your opponent controls. So it's not just a negate plus destroy, like it's not just an Omni negate, it's an Omni negate and board wipe in the same card. It's wild, it's so good. And it's really, really hard to bring out unless you use Crimson Dragon, as we did here. Not only that, we also have the upgraded form of Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, which can negate more monster effects, or just more effects in general, it looks like. That's wild. That's wild! Oh no, but they have the Super Poly! Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. Yeah, Super Poly is like probably the one card, except maybe for like Forbidden Droplet, that our opponent could have had here. We do get to bring back the Bestial Dissipator though, because that is a Bestial monster with the Brander again, so that's really cool. Feather Duster coming down here, just a little bit too, well, I was gonna say a little bit too late, but we had this Super Poly first. Anyway, looks like we're chaining our Runic Slumber, so that way we're able to get in our Hugin and protect our cards, all of them, by the way, because remember that Hugin can protect. Hugin stops a destruction of any Runic card, but it also protects anything else that would be destroyed. So managed to save all of our back rows there, and now we get to still use Flashing Fire from our hand as well. All right, Fire Dance coming down. We get to Baldric in response. That way we get to eat the ritual in the graveyard, as well as use the Maxi here to get a draw off this summon. Alright, here's Baldric, there goes the ritual monster. Fire Dance bringing back the water one. I don't remember her name. It's Needy, okay. Double-edged sword coming down on the Coral Dragon, but we get to use the Runic Destruction on the equip spell, which means no more reflected damage, and then also it means that the Flashing Fire can take care of the Bakonko monster there. And looks like that's going to be it. They're not even going to try to play anymore after they see our Runic Fountain. I think that's got to be the #1 concede point, though, when you're playing a Runic deck. It's not even just like activating Fountain, but it's activating Fountain just after you used your Runic cards to gain massive advantage. It's like, okay, so your opponent's like, all right, you cleared my board, you're going to draw 3. I get it. We're done. That's good. That's really good. Still awesome to see Majestic Star Dragon, and also Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. That's wild, especially to see the OG Majestic here. I don't think I'm not exaggerating, I've been playing since Majestic Star Dragon came out. I don't think I've ever seen somebody summon it, except for this duel here. So, very, very good stuff. Thank you, Rickistrick, as well as everyone else who submitted for this week's viewer special. And again, there is always next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that. So that'll be all for this video. Thanks so very much for watching. Let's move now to our outro. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. That means a lot to me. It's also a great way to support the channel, so thank you very much in that way as well. If you're interested in supporting the channel in other ways, like the very special patrons that I am thanking here, you can do so by checking out some of the links in the description. One of those goes to the Patreon, where you can join these fine folk and support the channel that way. I do post daily content over on Patreon, so you do get something for supporting there. And if you're interested, I also have a coaching tier option as well. Details again will be on Patreon in the link below. Also in the description linked below is my Twitch page, where I stream a few times a week. You can go ahead and check that out, follow or subscribe over there if you ever want to catch me live. You'll also find my second YouTube channel if you feel like subscribing over there to watch some of the Twitch VODs, as well as some additional non-Yu-Gi-Oh related content that I make over there. Again, any of those links you want to check out is all a great way of supporting. But again, even if you don't do that, just watching was also a fantastic way to support. And once again, I have to thank you so very much. But in any case, this is Hexlex. I'm going to be signing out, and I'm hoping you have a fantastic day.